I was at my mom's house having coffee with her on her deck, and she noticed something up in the tree. To us, it looked like a garbage bag or trash. I thought maybe a bear climbed the tree with the bag of trash. That was my first thought. And then it started flapping and realized it was one of the baby bald eagles.
The bald eagles had just started to fly, the two babies that were in the nest, a day or two before.
I came to ask Susie if I can go and climb the tree because it looks like a very short tree from my house. And when I went to a tree and then I saw it is very huge tree and I can't climb, I was, sad because I don't want to see her die.
The tree that the eagle was stuck in was, it's actually the spruce tree right above the barn with the slanted top. I ended up climbing up onto the roof of our barn and could see at that point that the young eagle had impaled its wings through a branch on the tree. One of our neighbors here in the neighborhood, she had contacted her son who works for a hydro company, and he arrived with all of his equipment and volunteered to scale the tree and make his way up to the eagle to help rescue it.
I ended up having to be the guy to climb the tree because there was just nobody else around that could or would do it. I called conservation and they said they weren't equipped or trained to do so. I even called a couple of guys I worked with who were better climbers than me, and they were busy, so they couldn't make it. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna climb a tree now. Like, what do you do? The eagle needed help, and there's just nobody else around to do it. So this is the exact spot where we came through. Yeah, we walked down with my gear and climbed over the fence, and it was a little sketchy. I'd never climbed a tree with my gear before because it's made for power poles, and my hooks, my spikes aren't long to penetrate the bark like the tree climbers' hooks. But yeah, it's a fir tree, nice soft bark, tough tree, so I managed to pull it off. But yeah, when my belt was so tight that I was literally like this and kind of just frog-legged. Normally you'd have a little bit of space, like your forearm length, between you and whatever you're climbing, but my belt wasn't big enough, so. But I was really careful, like if my son was on the ground, last thing I wanted was for him to see his dad have an accident, so I took my time. I had to cut the branches for the first probably 30, 40 feet, because I couldn't undo my belt to go over a branch. Until I got up higher and I could actually use two belts and hook one up and undo the lower one, climb over, and then hook my other one up and unhook that one and keep climbing. So I got up and I look over and I'm like, holy, it's like right there. And it was right there in my face, and its mouth was wide open looking at me, and I'm just looking down this eagle's throat, basically. Like, it was kind of sketchy, and its talons were going at me. I was pretty chewed up on my arm here. I got bit once. That was from his talons. I didn't even notice, really, when it was happening. I just kept trying to get him down. So yeah, I got up there. He was pretty heavy, so I had to lift him up and lift his wing off the branch because the branch was right through and coming out the other side of the meat of his wing, like an inch and a half. And then I'm, fighting trying to avoid his beak and his talons, and I just kind of hog-tied his talon or his feet together and just lowered him down gently as I could. I was just relieved to get him down, and that somebody else was dealing with it at that point, to be honest, because I don't think I would have been able to climb down with him.
Nice work, everybody. So I have somebody coming with some way to transport him. We're gonna get him to the wildlife park. My beautiful guy, you've had a rough day, hey? You're okay now. You need some water.
Bald eagle's nest has been there for a long time, like 20-something years, probably longer. My dad had a telescope set up on his deck, and that was one of his hobbies, was watching the eagles, watching the babies every year. I worked with my dad for 14 years, so I'd hear about it at work all the time. Like, to the point where I'd be like, God, it's just an eagle. But he passed away 6 years ago. And then seeing this eagle up in the tree, I was like, as if I can't just, you know, those are my dad's eagles, so I'm going up to get them.
He's drinking.
Yeah.
So before this experience, we didn't actually know a lot of our neighbors. We really are part of an amazing community. It really was a community effort, and since then we've gotten to know each other a lot better as neighbors. Thanks for getting little Johnny.
Yeah.
This is a group effort.
He knows where he's going.
Yeah. Getting some medical help now. After a stressful day, we were very grateful that the rescue ended well and that the baby eagle was being sent off to the wildlife park where it would receive the care and attention it needed. And I think we're all very hopeful that it would one day return to the nest and be reunited with its family. So here's the eagle nest here. Doesn't look like they're in there right now. But you can see just over here the tree where the eagle was stuck. So while they were learning to fly, she obviously did a crash land into the spruce tree there. And it was very heartbreaking when she was stuck because the mom and the dad and the sibling were flying around calling out to her the whole time. So every time they would do a flyby and start calling to her, she would get another burst of energy and try to get herself free. And yeah, they actually sat in trees right beside the one that she was stuck in, watching the whole rescue, actually. I was a little bit worried that as Mike was grabbing her and trying to bring her down, that they would maybe fly at him, but they didn't. They just sat and watched and called out to the baby.
Hello.
Hi, Tracy, it's Susie.
Oh, hi.
Hi, we're all here excited to hear an update about the baby eagle.
Yeah, she's doing really, really well, actually. She has gone beyond all of our expectations, and that wound is looking very good. We had a look at it today. I sent some pictures to Em, so you can have a look. We had a bit of a setback in that she got a bit of an infection in there, and all the stitching came out that we had originally done, and so, but now that has all healed up.
Will she be released in the same nest that she was born in?
Yeah, we'll release her back, basically. I'll give you a call and find out exactly where we have to go to, but we'll come back to right where she was.
That's perfect.
Right where that nest is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume that her, parents and stuff are still in the area. So.
They are, yes. We're standing right below their nest right now.
Are they still at it? The parents?
Yeah.
Parents are here.
The parents and the baby are still here. They think they're off fishing right now. Here's her video. Here's the video.
She looks excited.
Oh, she's sweet.